guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands. Deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down. She real vicious. Rockabye, baby. No witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, they make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look, see, I was the high school slick brick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Wentz to throw on the first play from scrimmage. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started.
But not many guys who can blow up plays like Chase Young. He did it again there.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Cousins to throw it.
Oh, no, man.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
I can only imagine the folks who are watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
The extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Cousins now from the 50. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw, it's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect, incomplete. We'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
This is taken at about the 14. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Jonathan Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Montez Sweat, credit him with his sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Off the play fake, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. Sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
That is caught by Thielen. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. 1-7, their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now, this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. And we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But for this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw is Wentz. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
This is fielded at the 27. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They run the counter with Cook. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3, Cousins. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead
I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wound up picking up positive yards.
There's no reason you get the hogs down like a linebacker.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
Like, no reason.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
No reason at all.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. To throw, Cousins. And it's caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
That's a way to drive right there.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Cousins gives way to Cook.
They don't give me, it gets scary.
Tackle there to make the stop.
They don't give me, it's scary.
The defensive front, they just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. The second one not to be.
I like where they're what space is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively.
Okay.
What they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Joseph's got it. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal range. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They fake the give. Now Wentz.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep it
on. Wentz is intercepted yet again. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 23. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens,
and a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Really good idea.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Nuwagu now from his end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They run again on first down. Cook.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Fourth down, Cousins. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. 18 of them. Back to the ground, Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Meanwhile, Cousins throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got it not just space, but plenty of room to run after.
Are you serious on the slants?
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins.
Throw the ball away, bro.
Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw.
Jump for the ball!
Thrown by Cousins. Picked up by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 15. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
46 down, man, black ball. Hey, 4, Tokyo. 81, 81. Jim Hill.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that, a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 83 yards. And the Commanders have cut it back within a score. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found it down
sense, dude.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly...
Y'all niggas forget how to block today, or what? Giving y'all that much trouble?
We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. Now this one complete downfield.
Glad you came to play, man.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Everybody else
in
playing
Washington
like
territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Cousins.
Glad you came to play.
Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A first down throw for Cousins. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Chase Young. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins escaping the pressure right. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Dalvin Cook now catches on back-to-back plays. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last conversion.
No way when it's set 146. Stop this.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Cousins will try and throw.
Damn,
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more
They
attempts.
can drive, at
I
least.
think
They can
stats
drive.
over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Look.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
On first down, Wentz winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Throw it away, Cousins. Jesus, throw it that way.
Chase Young picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Ah, it's getting pointless sacks.
This pass rush, they have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 3rd down, Cousins.
Got an open man.
No way, got a hold call.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
Y'all niggas are ridiculous with these holding calls, bro.
Not at all.
Not
The
unless
whole
he tries to
call,
grab
they're
him here,
playing
and they
in.
still get caught.
Oh, a dot, too.
Following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Here's Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side.
What's going on, man?
They'll work this down inside the 30.
These niggas are just jamming the hell out of my niggas. And I don't get it.
Now Cousins on 4th down.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Great route call.
This game has been a lesson, a clinic in how to throw the football. I mean, even with a big lead, they're not turning off the engine. They're not getting off the gas at all. They plan to keep going at them, and it's working for them.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. They run it again with Cook.
Well, I should be right there. I should be.
Pick up a 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. 3rd down. Here's a run by.
Like, that is ridiculous that he can just get off the block that fast. Like, why is that happening?
Go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Greg Joseph, the kickoff for Minnesota.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going football.
This is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. It's caught at the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Throwing here, Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Minnesota,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for Washington, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.
Shit feeding my leftovers, bro. That's fucking crazy. Shit feeding my leftovers, bro. That's fucking crazy.
When you toss me blessings, you never throw interceptions. I catch them like O.D. Beckham. Hard to not the devil when built like Tiana Teller and balling at 27. I feel like Iman Shumpert. Know there's a disconnect when the sheep start to lead the shepherd. The weak start to be aggressive. The streets start to be the reverend. Bragging about first class. Seated on 9/11. They spirits are not united. Allegiance my soul forever. I murdered my adolescence assault with a friendly weapon. I verbally dissect them to help them get back together. Wanting the stranger things. I handle it like 11. My point is I guard the kids. I should play for the Celtics. Watch how I Euro step them and curry them like I'm stepping whenever I'm in your town. The warriors in your presence. I manifest my endeavors. I'm blessed and I'm getting better. I walk amongst living legends. Coach Contra will live forever.
New goals, baby boo. Got my wrist in these grits, tryna whip something new. I am sick of this rampant. So are you. Hold on, switch. Mama, I'm gonna introduce my ego. Since the world full of villains, then let's introduce the heroes. We the good guys.
Obviously, I knew a lot.
Guaranteed move back. Type of view is that on the globe. It's a visionary peeking out the window of my soul. Might just fall back, then they helping hand and play my role. You ain't all that in the mirror oversold. Call me Reason A, aka Malcolm XL. That's a big one. Bigger punishment. I give him hell. Get keep it blunt enough. You can't cough drop. Tell them all for their hell.
Piensan que yo soy mejor, tengo todo, tu rapero favorito paniqueado, ten cuidado. Estos raperos son mis hijos jautados. Acuérdate que ni hizo eso ni el que te ha gustado. Pídeme permiso when you copy my style. This bridge, I done burnt them all with a freestyle.
Y'all are young, baby. What's going on? You rookie, you suck ass.
I just scraped it off the top, put it on the road, on the dirt, on the road. I was already sold, I don't work back to the clouds. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but I meant to love. When they rush comes, the what I gotta do, I'm moving with a two, I paid it in the
yeah, tell me what I gotta do. Pull up in a bucket crew, one for me and one for you. Yeah, like what the roof. The chain don't cut me loose. Yeah, I'm off the chain, I'm off the noose. Yeah, getting picked off Bentley white like cotton. Residential so good, my doors don't gotta lock 'em. Watch the dirty money, what I see. I miscount cause I'm off a... Yeah, these bigger than a damn proxy. Call my he said cop, get that plug like a boogie. I like riches, hit like nookies. You ain't scared of no, but you scared to put on your hoodie. Man, my like Woody.
I just scraped it off the top, put it on the road, on the dirt, on the block. I was already sold, I don't work back to the cloud. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but I meant to lie. When they rush comes, the what I gotta do, I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of four.
New toys, convoys, 100 carats on my neck, my boy. That 100 bunny rabbits tryna get my boy. From the cabbage I collect, my boy. Heard you this gorillas, let me check, my boy. Say nothing silly, you regret, my boy. Cause we got banana on the my boy. And I can send it in a text, my boy. Thumbs up or the emoji with the flex, my boy. Personalize every threat, my boy. Toll free, that's direct, my boy. And if you need a couple, I'm to connect, my boy, off the top.
Man, what y'all call this shit right here, man? Where you go?
years before, but I don't know.
I took a big swing out of life. I'm doing big things in my life. I deserve 6 rings like I'm Mike. I've got a no sleep. I remember when it was the nosebleeds. Now they captured the fashion from flow seats. I'm a whole king.
Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a lotus and I'm the conductor of a magnum opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it.
Ooh, it's trouble in paradise. So let's parachute where the air's nice. And let's risk it all on the paradise. But she just wanna make sure her hair's nice. That's fair, right? I just fell in love with a prima donna. The 2023 Madonna. I mean, your honor, I was minding my business until she gave me complete nirvana.
Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a lotus and I'm the conductor of a magnum opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it. Nobody really cares.
There's no actual people here. What's wrong?